Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Bilt Blaze 3 jacket. Now, the Bilt Blaze 3 jacket is replacing the Blaze 2, as the name would suggest, which was the most popular jacket that Bilt had to offer. And the main thing that I think drew a lot of people to the Blaze 2 was that $120 price point, which does not change in the Blaze 3. This is still $120. There are two colors available. You have the all black with the orange, and then just a sheer all black version. But the Blaze 3 is a great option for summer riding. As the name entails, it does have huge mesh panels to get that hot air moving through and out of the jacket on those summer riding days. And I don't think this is something you could really stretch into the colder riding months out of the year without adding in some sort of thermal liner on your own, or maybe like a hoodie underneath that. But for the price point, for the riding segment, you know, commuters, touring riders out there that are looking for a budget-friendly option that still has protection baked in, I think the Blaze 3 is going to be a great option. But before we talk about all the updates and a lot of the features in the new Blaze 3, let's talk about the fit. Spurgeon on my left. He's 6'3", 220 pounds with a 44-inch chest, and he's currently wearing a size large, which fits him spot on. And that is the size he should be according to the size chart. You know, that has a little bit extra space in the chest and the sleeves. That was an update from the Blaze 2. That was customer feedback, just getting a little bit more space, making it comfortable for all day. So I like that Bilt was listening to that. But as you can see, it has a very American and straight cut to it. Fits him spot on. So if you have any questions or any concerns about sizing, reference that sizing chart, and that's going to put you in the right direction. But let's talk about some of the features. Up at the collar, you do have an 1.5 inch tall touring style collar with a little bit of neoprene around the rim. It's got microfiber on the inside too. It's going to be nice and comfortable up against your neck. Coming down the sleeves, you're actually not going to notice too much here. You do have that 600D polyester running down the shoulders and the collarbone. But they got rid of a lot of the foam that was there. It kind of gave it an older, like almost 90s, early 2000s look. I like that they cleaned that up. Underneath that polyester, moving down to the shoulder, you do have CE level 1 axial armor right there at the shoulder, as well as the elbow. It's going to protect you for those impacts on if you ever get into a crash. You're going to have that 600D for the abrasion resistance and that CE level 1 axial for the impact itself. Moving down the outer shoulder, you do have the foam inserts at the side. I think it has a nice, great pop with the orange at the outside, as well as reflective mixed in there. Moving down the sleeve, you can see tons of mesh all the way down to the forearm with accordion stretch at the back of the elbow. We'll see that when he turns to the side, as well as reflective. One note that we do have about this, while they did update the cuff at the wrist to have a little bit of neoprene, it is a bit tight with that zipper closure. So Spurgeon was mentioning it's a little bit too tight for comfort. Maybe a little, like maybe a 1/2 inch or an extra inch of material would have gone a long way. So Bilt, if you're listening, I would love to see that in the next edition. But just a simple zipper closure with that YKK zipper at the cuff. Moving down the front, you got that 600D up at the top, as well as huge mesh panels running down the front, down to 2 hand warmer pockets at each left and right sides that close down so they don't rattle open while you're riding. One thing, just looking at the front, I want to point out that I do really like is there's not any logoing. Bilt decided to remove most of the logoing and just put in this color on color Bilt stitched logo down the left side. I think that's a really clever idea. Just helps it not stand out as a motorcycling jacket or being overly branded or anything like that. Go ahead and hit the side and hit the riding position for me, Spurgeon. That's where you're going to get a great look at that extra material in the sleeve. You can see it there with the reflective, the accordion, as well as more reflective down the forearm. Again, I like that. Makes you more visible out riding. And again, for the $120 price point, getting a lot of features from Bilt. Not many brands are touching that price point out there. Down the side, 600 denier. Again, pops are reflective, and then 2 Velcro adjusters at each side just to really hone in the fit for you and your riding position. Spurgeon, go ahead and face the back for me real quick. 600D polyester across the top, just like we saw with the front, as well as mesh down the entire back with a drop seat. One thing I'll point out is there's a little piece of foam in there, but it is not a back protector. You're gonna wanna add a back protector into this jacket. Make sure you're protecting your spine, which is one of the highest impact points in the event of an accident. Spurgeon, you go ahead and face front and open up and unzip for me. When we get to the interior, you're going to see a replication of the exterior, which is just a ton of mesh, helping that airflow all the way throughout with a Napoleon pocket and a short connection zipper, as well as belt loops to throw on the matching Bilt Blaze 3 pants if you decide to do so. You can go ahead and zip that up, sir. So again, the Blaze 3 to me for the price point is a solid option. Yes, there are other options out there for a couple more bucks if you're looking to get maybe a little bit more abrasion resistance or even waterproofing. I know even in Bilt's line, they do have the Blast 2 waterproof and even the Nomad Air for up over the $200 price point, which gets you leather mixed with mesh. So if you're concerned with maybe getting a little bit more abrasion resistance or anything like that, go ahead and check out those two. There's gonna be a couple bucks more, but give you some solid options within the Bilt line. If you have any other questions, feel free to click the info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what those riders are saying about the all-new Blaze 3. If you still have questions after that, our customer service team is always available to help you get all set up with sizing, options, whatever you need. Give them a call and they're more than happy to get you all squared away. I want to thank you for joining Spurgeon 9, checking out the all-new Blaze 3 from Bilt. I'm Pat. I'll see you in the next video.